Where? No! This is just not good. It wanted me to go up past this turn. This is the turn right here. Under the bridge to the stop sign, make a U-turn, and then make a left. I don't know what's going on. At the end of March, Tesla announced that they were going to offer a 30-day free trial of full self-drive on any of their models that could handle the software. I have a 2022 Model 3, and I have been eagerly awaiting the chance to test out full self-drive. It is May 12th, and it is raining, but I got my free trial 2 days ago. I was out of town. This is going to be my first chance to play with it. I'm going to invite you to ride along for my very first impressions. As I mentioned in the intro, it is raining, and the weather forecast and the weather radar shows a lot of rain coming, and I don't have all day. So I've got a couple of errands to run, and so I'm going to run these errands. I was hoping to do these with letting the car drive. It just happens to be raining, so this is going to be a bonus of how full self-drive handles rain. It's a light rain. It's not super heavy and super serious right now. It's showing up green and dark green on the radar. And right now, North Texas, and I'm not complaining about this, kind of thinks it might be Seattle this year. We've been getting a lot of rain, but we need it and we'll take it. Anyway, I'm going to show you some things on that I've noticed already on the screen about the full self-drive software and the update that's happened. There's just a couple of them I want to mention. First off, there's this new screen, this new kind of wallpaper, because the car used to be over here, and now it takes up the whole screen. It's bigger, it's brighter, it's a cleaner graphic, and all of that. Additionally, let me see if it'll do this. Yeah, there we go. So it used to be to turn on the wipers, I'd push the button here, and then I'd have to move this wheel left or right, or I could tap on the screen to change the setting. But now, boom, it allows me to do it with the scroll wheel, and I can just pick whichever setting I want it on. I like that a lot better than pushing the wheel side to side, because it takes longer to go through each individual setting, and I don't usually like the auto wiper setting on this car. So that's something new, and I don't know if that is part of the software update or part of the FSD software. When the trial is up, I'll know. I'm going to put the car in drive here and just show you the way that it renders the roadway while I'm sitting here parked. And I don't know if you can see that, but right there, it's really faint. I can see it well with my eyes, but it knows the color of the lines. It knows that those are yellow lines. So now I'm going to go into the settings and see if there's anything that I need to do with Autopilot to fit my needs. Go down here, I got this blue button. I have navigation. It wants me to do stuff here. I'll go back to that. But on Autopilot, it set full self-drive supervised for me automatically and took away my option of single pull or double pull. So I didn't use the cruise control when I drove the car last night because I didn't want to turn it on without, getting it on video. The profile can either be chill, average, or assertive. I don't know enough about it, but I've watched a couple of videos that say if you don't do assertive, the car's too cautious. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on assertive just in case. Lanes change notification, let's leave that off. I'm not going to turn on minimal lane changes. Let's do expanded visualization. Park assist, standard Tesla vision. Let's try Tesla vision. Speed limit warning on the display. Speed limit. Let's try relative and see what happens. Emergency lane departure avoidance on. Emergency braking is on. Can't turn it off. Obstacle aware acceleration. We'll just leave all that stuff on. I'm going to run a couple of errands. There are some things that we pick up once a week from through an app called Too Good To Go. It's not a paid promotion. They're not giving me anything for this, but we love using it. I'm going to go pick up some bagels at a place called Lucky Duck Bagels, and I'm going to pick up some, it's Mother's Day, so I'm going to pick up some cookies for Rachel. Mother's Day when I'm filming this. So I'm going to pick up some cookies for Rachel at a place called Tiff's Treats, and then I'm going to go home. Too Good To Go takes freshly made things that are still available at the end of the day, and so they're still good, but you get them at like half off or something like that. So that's what I'm on my way to do. Since it is raining and I haven't supervised FSD before, I'm going to pause the take and mount the camera up here. And so you'll get the view of the screen and the road, and you'll hear me talking, and I'll edit out the boring parts. Navigate to Lucky Duck Bagels. I love that I can tell the car where it wants to go, or where I want it to go. And there's my navigation. It gives me this nice little grayed out area up here that shows the route. I'm going to put the car in reverse so I can back out of here. And then as soon as the car gives me the steering wheel icon, I'm going to go ahead and engage FSD. So there we go. The car is now in control. Full self-driving may be degraded. Poor weather detected. Okay, the car just turned on the turn signal by itself. There's a lot of traffic right now. It's not heavy traffic, but there's not. The car's creeping forward just a little bit on its own. I've got my hands ready and my foot covering the brake just in case. I would go now if this was me, and there we go. And boy, it just took off. Okay, make the lane change. Crossed over that solid white line there, but there we have it. Okay, so coming up here, there's going to be a stoplight and the Chisholm Trail Parkway toll road. And it is giving me the warning that FSD may be degraded because of the weather. So I'm just going to have my hands right by the wheel. I'm just resting them on them right now if I need to take control of the car. We're slowing down to like 20 miles an hour. Nice slow turn. That's not bad. Okay. Nicely centered in the lane. And now we're getting on the Chisholm Trail Parkway. This is a tollway that doesn't have necessarily a whole lot of traffic on it, but it can be, it can get a lot of cars at a time. There's not traffic jams per se, but there will be other vehicles on it. This lane is ending. The car did not signal for the merge there. Speed limit up here, there's speed limit sign on the right that says it's 70 miles an hour. And we're currently going 65. I'm going to say that that's because of the weather that it's dropped it down. Maybe it's me. Will it let me change the speed? I don't know if I want to change the speed with the roads this wet. I'm just going to leave it be. What I will say, while I've got this little bit of boring stuff, I have this trial for a month. I'm going to shoot a lot of videos. You tell me at that point of what content you for sure would like to see, and I'll add that to my list. I've got some ideas of some tests that I want to run. We've got a road trip planned at the end of May that we'll use it on. I've got a couple of other ideas for like the morning commute, seeing what summons like in a parking lot, things like that. But anything that you would like to see as far as how this FSD system works, I think it's version 12.3. Here comes our first test. With auto steer beta in the basic autopilot, this off-ramp, the car would try to center, well, maybe it wouldn't there, because that's awful short, but sometimes when there's an off-ramp, the painted line on the right follows the off-ramp. And if it does it more so on on-ramps, because the line is off to the right for a very long time, and so the car will center between the dotted line on the left and the solid white line on the right. So let's see if it does it here. This is going to be a good test right at this mark. The car did not even inch, it hasn't yet. Is it doing it now? Just a little bit, teeny tiny bit. But yeah, usually it would drift over there a lot more than that. I think maybe we moved about a half of an inch to the right. That's negligible. I may have just been trying to avoid the car that was passing me on the left. Well, the car apparently decided that the conditions improved a little bit because it moved the max up to 70. So I am doing the speed limit now. Down here, since I'm using up the full screen for the visualization, and I still have the navigation here in the corner. I don't know if you can see that. I'm using a GoPro. I'm in the car by myself, so if I can zoom in on that in post-production, I will. And down here, I've got another trip card that shows like an arrow saying how how much more of the trip I got left. I got how many miles, how many minutes, what the state of charge will be, and all of that. And now the speed limit just changed. The speed limit dropped down to 65, but the car is still doing 70, and it gave me a message that it was maintaining speed for traffic flow, which is cool because not everybody, this is a Texas toll road. People are not going to slow down just because of a sign here. They do what they want. And now the car has slowed back down to 65, which is the accurate and current speed limit. I'm putting pressure on the wheel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release the pressure on the wheel and see how long it takes before the car tells me to put my hands back. So there we go. It's starting the timer right there on my stopwatch. There was one time on this toll road that even with the basic autopilot, it went for like 15 miles. I don't think it's going to let me. I'm completely hands-free at the moment because there's nobody around me and I'm on a straight section of road. And now that I'm timing it, it's not doing it. It was doing it about every 30 seconds to a minute before. But there we go. There it was. That was at about 37 seconds. By the time I got the stopwatch turned off, it was 39.77. But it was a couple of seconds. I wanted to apply force to the wheel before I stopped the stopwatch. Again, the weather cleared up. It bumped up to 70 miles an hour to keep up with traffic flow. I did not tell it to do that. So yeah, about every 30 to 40 seconds, you do need to interact with the wheel. I wonder if that's what some people are calling the nag. But I think that's a good thing. I think it would be beneficial if, I mean, there's a camera right here that if that camera could do what Ford does and just make sure you're watching the road. But again, what happens if I got both hands on a cheeseburger? So, you know, having your hands able to take the wheel is a good thing, especially in conditions like this. I think the wipers have gone to an automatic setting. Yep, they have. The wipers have gone to auto. And usually the wipers with this much rain on auto would be going at the highest setting. They're not. They're probably right now on setting 3, if I had to guess what auto was doing. And now they just shut back off to go to intermittent. So in basic autopilot, the automatic wipers are really sensitive, and because they're so sensitive, I don't like using them. But with this software in, they're less sensitive. They're more the way that I would use the wipers. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's because of the software update that I downloaded a couple of days ago or because of FSD. We're currently doing 60 miles an hour. The speed limit dropped to 60. I'm in the middle lane, and I probably should move over because I am getting past. No, people aren't flying by me, but this is a tricky curve coming up here. The car should be able to handle it at 60 easily. Yeah, it did. It doesn't even. And another thing I want to mention, with auto steer beta for a curve like this, the car takes a late entry into the corner. It gives me like a half a heartbeat of thinking it's not going to take the turn, but now it's turning. It's still a hair later than I would, but it's keeping it more centered in the lane in the curve. All right, I am 0.7 of a mile from my exit, and at that point I'll be getting off of this toll road and onto surface streets. There is a SUV to my right. The car just activated the turn signal. Blind spot monitor wasn't red, and we've made the lane change. The car is navigating by itself. It's doing everything for me. It just occasionally wants to make sure I'm paying attention. So far, I will say that the full self-driving, choosing right fork to stay on route, it's telling me. The full self-drive supervised is a better driver than the auto steer beta. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be my first red light. And I got to be in the right lane because this is a weird set of exits. There's an interstate, a toll road, and some very large city streets that come together here. We came to a complete stop. The light turned green immediately. And we're moving again. And here it's going to take the exit on the right to where I'm going. Okay, now I need to be in the left lane up here. And yeah, the car's going into the left lane. And we're going to have a stop sign. So this is going to be my first stop sign with full self-drive. We have come to a complete stop, and we're going there because there's nobody coming until right there. There was one. Have a red light here, turn signals on. We have stopped, I'm going to say we're probably about 10 feet or more back from the limit line at this intersection. I can actually see the limit line past the hood line of the car. And way back when, many years ago, my driving instructor told me you need to see the limit line under your mirror. But so right now we're really far back from this limit line. Light turned green, car immediately goes. I am paranoid, sometimes making sure nobody runs a red light. Okay, we're good. Nobody did. It has turned us into the middle lane of 3. And this particular road, this is University Drive in Fort Worth, Texas. We're going to be going past the Botanic Gardens. We're going to be going past Trinity Park on the right. But we're going to a place in the 7th Street district. It's an entertainment district in Fort Worth that's got a lot of upscale restaurants and bars and things like that. And where I'm going is a bagel shop that's there. And now the left lane disappeared. We've added a lane to the left. We need to be 2 lanes over to the right in the next half mile. And it's taken me onto a street called Trail Drive. The bagel shop that I'm going to does not have parking on the street right in front of it. It has signs that say, "Do not park here." So I'm wondering when FSD is going to disengage and have me find a place to park. Normally, I would stay on this road on University Drive until I got to 7th Street, and then I would turn right. I come out on Trail Drive, so it's going to have me turn here right through a big puddle. It's going to have me turn here at Trail Drive, or it's going to turn. It's not having me do it. It's doing it on its own. It's a nice turn, nice controlled turn. Got curbs on both sides. We're staying away. We're staying plenty clear of those. We're slowing down there for I don't know what. Speed limit is 30. We're doing 25. I really do love the auto wipers are behaving perfectly today. On the visualization, I can see the light, and I can see that the light is red in the visualization, and it just turned to green on the screen, and it did in real life as well. So that's cool. We're 200 feet away from the destination. There is a car with its hazards up here. So I don't know what the car is going to do because I can't park on this street. But it's going to tell me to park on the street. Okay, so the car doesn't know the Fort Worth parking laws. And bagels are picked up. I'm going to try a thing before I go on to the next destination. Go in here, back into the menu, hit Autopilot, and I'm going to go to Auto Steer Beta, which is where it was before. And go down, and I still have this full screen, which is cool. If I hit the wipers, do I still have the wiper control? I do. I have it with the wheel, so that's cool. So that's still there. If I put it in drive, I'm not leaving yet, but if I put it in drive, I still have this visualization, which is cool. So the setting doesn't do it. Basically, it proves to me I'm going to have to wait until the trial's over to see if I get to keep some of the stuff like this wallpaper and that new functionality of the wipers. Now I'm going to navigate to the next stop and take you along for the ride, and we'll see how it goes. We've got on the visualization that you can see how far the car is looking ahead, and you can tell that it's got that car in front. It's giving us some space. We're set at 30 miles an hour, but we slowed down to 28 for this curve because of the sharpness of the curve and the rain on the road. We're going to have to make a left turn here. Turn signal is on. Took us straight into the turn lane. In case you're wondering what's down here, that's my phone, and it's using the GoPro Quick app, so I can kind of monitor what the camera's seeing. It's just to make sure that I still have in frame what I want to have in frame. So that's cool. And I have the phone laid out in such a way that it's not charging, so I may fix that. Turned us into the center lane of 3, and there's a good amount of mist on the road, so it dropped our speed down to below the speed limit so it could see what's going on. I believe the wipers are on auto. Even though we're going to be making a right turn in a half a mile, we do not want to go over into that next lane to the right that just shifted with a car next to us, and the FSD did a great job. Like, there was nothing to worry about there. But we do not want to be in this right-hand turn lane because, and we're going into it. The lane is a turn-only lane. So there's nobody near me, so if we have to bail, we're gonna have to bail. Yep, and there we go. It's putting us back in the lane. So what FSD did there is what someone who's not familiar with this area would have done, because you've got a right turn coming up, so you go over into the right turn lane, and they don't have a sign that says that lane ends until right before it ends, but you can see there's grass and curbs and all that stuff there, and this is the road to take you to the on-ramp that puts you on Interstate 30. That's not where we're going. We're going to a place that is off of the toll road. So we have to go to the next light and make a right turn onto the toll road. Thing is, this freeway off-ramp that gets off of Interstate 30 here, on the other side of this intersection, it creates a new right-hand lane right on the other side of the intersection. So the car is going to have to make a quick lane change to get over to the right to make the next turn. You can see on the visualization how the lane went away, and it's got the curbing there that van up there is taken. You can definitely tell that the car is capable of seeing way more vehicles than it normally does in the normal visualization with basic autopilot. So turn signal light came on immediately. We're into the right turn lane, and there's a construction sign for the left lane closed. We'll see how that goes. And here's our curve. Here's our turn. To get on the toll road, we're going to have to get over a lane. So when's the car going to signal? There's somebody coming up on my left, and they're coming up. If we don't make this turn, is he going to cut him off? No, dude just changed lanes so he could get over, and he wasn't getting on the road anyway. So he needed to get into our lane and we needed to get into his, so that was okay. So back onto the toll road. Speed limit at this point is 60 miles an hour. The max is set at 60, and that is the speed that we're doing. We do have to merge here, and again, it's not giving me a turn signal to merge onto this road. I don't like that. If it does that to me again, I'm just going to manually engage the turn signal. In fact, what happens if I engage the turn signal? I can just tell the car what lane I want it to go in. Okay, so the car didn't pick this lane, I picked this lane. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to the right lane because we're doing the speed limit in the rain, so we're going to move over to the right. This is a Texas toll road, and we're just going to stay here. The car is changing lanes. I don't know why. I guess it felt like getting over a lane. There wasn't anything in front of us. The lane's not ending. There were a couple of vehicles taking that exit that we just passed, but they were several seconds and several car lengths ahead of us. So yeah, the car just changed lanes because it wanted to. Here is a nice long lane change. See if the car drifts on this at all. Auto steer beta would be moving over in between the dotted line and that solid line, and this is not. It's maintaining the lane perfectly. My biggest gripe about using auto steer, this fixed. turn signal's on. We're taking the correct exits based on the navigation. After I do this stop, I'm going to see, why are you going to the left lane? That's not right. Don't go to the right lane. Right lane's not the correct lane. I'm going to let the car make a wrong turn. There we go. Now we're going into the correct lane. So we're making our lane change. There's something in the road. There's a box in the road, and so it hesitated to make that lane change. I don't know why it went to the right lane, knowing it had to make a left turn here. Oh, well, that right lane is a left turn lane as well. But then it moved back. I wonder if it judged traffic or if it just is figuring it out as it goes. The FSD there's a Cadillac Lyric. The FSD is driving well. There are some things that I would do differently. Accelerations are good. Okay, so getting into the right lane after we get through that intersection. Truck slowing down in front of us. There's a little bit more traffic around this shopping center. This is less downtown, more suburban Fort Worth. And there's a vehicle stopped in front of us for I don't know why. There's a vehicle stopped here next to us. And let's go. Come on, go. Go. Okay, somebody honked at me, so I had to give it gas. That car stopped in the middle of the road, confused this car. And this car stopped as well. And because there was no stoplight there. Now we're at a traffic circle. How is it going to handle the traffic circle? Oh, no. I don't know if that was my fault or not. I will try that again on the way out. So here's what happened. Right there at that intersection coming into this shopping center, which is not the one that I'm going to, a guy in the left lane was stopped in the middle of the road. He did not have a stoplight. He was stopped to try to let traffic through. This car with full self-drive engaged stopped while it was there. I had my hands touching the wheel, but I guess I wasn't putting enough pressure. And now I have a message that says telemetry from your vehicle indicates improper use of auto steer beta and full self-drive supervised. Keep your hands on the wheel and remain attentive at all times. My hands were, I thought, and auto steer beta full self-driving supervised will no longer operate if autopilot disables 4 additional times. Okay, so I put the car in park. Let's see if that allows it to reset. So I got put in autopilot jail, and I don't know if I just wasn't putting enough pressure on the wheel. Maybe I wasn't touching it for too long. The video is going to rat me out and tell me for sure. But I did accelerate manually because the car stopped for no light. People were honking, so I had to get out of the way. So I've got the car in park. I'm going to step out of the car for a minute, and then I'm going to get back in and try that traffic circle again. Yeah, there we go. Got my steering wheel back. So, going to engage autopilot. And now full self-drive is re-engaged. We're going through this parking lot, and it's going to turn here. It's going to have to get us out of this parking lot now. There's a car coming. Don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. It's not going. Okay, cool. And now we're going to inch up. We're going to make this right turn. Stopping at the stop sign. Nobody's coming. Off we go. Stay away from the curb, please. Okay, cool. So we're going to get out of this parking lot, back out onto McPherson Boulevard here. And I want to see how the car behaves. That dude did not stop for us. We did not have a stop sign. But the car did some braking as we went, which was fine. I want to see how the car handles this traffic circle, how it handles the roundabout. We're stopped at the line, inching up. Vehicles are coming, but we're probably clear now after this truck goes. Yep, there we go. We're moving, plastic cup in the road, it's no big deal. Car doesn't think it is either. We're approaching the roundabout. Make sure I've got pressure on the wheel. And it's stopping. And it's stopping, and it's still stopping. And go now, go now, go now. And there we go. I wouldn't have stopped there. This is a multi-lane roundabout. This lane that I'm in was completely clear. But there we are. We're through it. It's just a little bit more cautious than I would like. And I wonder if it went back down to, if I need to put it back on assertive. I'll check that. But now I want to see if it pulls into a parking spot here at Tiff's Treats. We're going into this driveway really slow. Pulling in, and it's not going towards Tiff's Treats. It's looking for a place to park. Wow, that wheel was really jerky. And it just stopped us in the middle of the parking lot. Okay. I do not know what's going on. Now we're parking on top of painted white lines. All right, I am disengaging Autopilot, and I'm going to park the car myself. There was no traffic, no vehicles moving around. It freaked out when it got into this parking lot and put us on a walkway, one of those painted hash diagonal lines next to a handicap spot is where it wanted to park. I don't know what the car was thinking, but I'm going to manually park here. So that's good to know. And I'm going to get some cookies and I'll be right back. All right. I'm going to try something now. I am not going to have navigation on. I'm going to re-engage FSD, and now I have no destination plugged in. I'm going to see if it lets me tell it where to go. I want to go in the left lane, so I turned on the turn signal, and it didn't want to make the lane change. So I'm going to do it again. Turn on the turn signal. Come on. It doesn't want to do it. Okay, so I took over there. Navigate home. And turned FSD back on. Oh, no. What are you doing? It didn't do the navigation. Okay, well, I had to disengage again. All right, so it apparently navigate home. All right, it went straight from that turn lane to going this way, and now it's going into the right lane. I don't know what the car is doing, changing lanes to follow routes. It's got the navigation all screwed up, and this car does not know where it's going right now. So I'm going to disengage Autopilot that way. I'm going to go up here and turn around, and there's a turn lane here that will allow me to turn around. And there we go. Now I'm going to actually navigate home. Okay, navigation is in, the route has shown up, and now I'm going to engage full self-drive. So with me trying to tell the car where to go, I tried 3 times to get it to change lanes, and it didn't. It is where? No! This is just not good. It wanted me to go up past this turn. This is the turn right here, under the bridge to the stop sign, make a U-turn, and then make a left. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so I had to disengage it there again. Now, full self-drive is re-engaged. We're pointed on the parkway. There shouldn't be anything more to confuse it. That was a really confusing street for this car and FSD. And I think what happened was I wanted to experiment on what FSD was like with me just using the turn signal to tell the car where to go. And it did not like that. And then a combination of hitting the navigation and FSD too close to each other, it really got it confused. But now everything seems to be okay. So this is telling me that for FSD to work in its best way, I need to have a destination plugged into navigation so that the car knows where it's driving. So it's not just, they sell the feature as full self-driving or what used to be called enhanced autopilot, which I'm not even sure if that's available anymore. Used to say that navigate on autopilot was one of the features, and I guess that's also a requirement. You have to have navigation plugged in. So There we go. Learned that because, man, FSD got confused back there. Lane ended, again, no turn signal. So when those come in, mental note, manually engage the turn signal. Okay, so now with the navigation in, if I wanted to change lanes, all I got to do is turn the turn signal, and it will do it. It refused back there on McPherson when I didn't have a route programmed in. So that might be common knowledge to people who've owned Teslas for a long time, who've used the full self-driving features of Autopilots before. That might just be common knowledge, but it wasn't something I knew, and that's a conclusion that I'm going to draw from what just happened back there, is I have to have the route plugged in. So lane is ending. I'm going to manually turn on the turn signal so that people behind me know what I'm doing, and that solves that issue. My exit's coming up, and this is going to be the next test, because for me to get home, you going to take this exit? There you go. For me to get home, I have to go through 5 miles of county roads that have no lines painted on them. There's no line on the right, there's no line on the left, there's no line in the middle. There are no lines on these county roads at all. And with the basic autopilot, auto steer was not even available on those roads. So we're about to find out how FSD does on these unpainted county roads, the back roads that I live on to get to my house in the middle of nowhere. Car coming on the left. That's what I would have done. That's how long I would have waited. That's when I would have turned. And now the car's driving a little bit more like me, back like I don't know what was going on back at near that shopping center. Okay, so there's cars coming the other direction. There's no painted line on the road, but visualization is putting one there. The speed limit here is not 50. The speed limit here is 40, and it just went to 50, and now it changed the speed limit to 25. There's no speed limit sign here. It is a 40 mile per hour speed limit road. And we're coming up on the speed limit sign as soon as we crest this hill. There's nobody behind me right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. There's the 40 mile an hour speed limit sign. The screen, the car's computer has acknowledged it, but we're still only doing 26. It's putting the car right where it needs to be on the lane if there were a painted line on the road. It's imagining where that painted line would be, and it's adjusted accordingly. And this oncoming traffic is doing just fine. This pickup truck is large enough that just came the other way, is large enough that when I first got the car and I would just have the traffic aware cruise control on this road, it would brake because it would see big thing coming at me, and the car would slow down considerably. Didn't mind that one. This section of road has a lot of blind hills. And so it's good that we're going a little under the speed limit here, but it's also good that there's nobody behind us, because people do get impatient on this road. In fact, I had a Mustang blow past a line of cars that I was in about a month ago in oncoming traffic right in front of one of these blind hills. If I still have the dash cam footage, I'll put it in and show you. But sometimes people drive crazy on this road. Okay, it's slowing down because of that truck and this car, and yeah, that was good defensive driving on the car's part, because we didn't know if they were coming out. So the car did what it needed to do. Did probably what I would have done. It's going a little slower than I would through this section, but again, the roads are wet. Now it can't even imagine where the line is. The imaginary line in the middle of the road, it blinked there for a second, but the car doesn't even know that. I am applying force to the wheel. The car, it sees it thinks it's there sometimes. It's not there in reality, and on the screen it's not there, but it's still putting us in our half of the road. Okay, and we just slowed down to 15 miles an hour there for no reason. There's nobody out here. There's no people walking. There's no animals. There was nothing in the road. No idea why we slowed down there. And we're doing it again. We're going down to 15 miles an hour. I mean, there was a mailbox close to the side of the road, but interesting. Well, that was my first experience with FSD. And what I can say with full self-drive is freeway is wonderful, the way that it handles it. City streets, for the most part, same thing, unless a driver does something weird and confuses the car. It doesn't seem to be much of a fan of traffic circles or roundabouts, and it really doesn't like these unpainted county roads because sometimes it will just really slow down. A lot of that might have been in the rain. Might have been because of the rain. I'm going to do a whole lot more tests while I have this trial, just to make up my own mind what I want to do. I think that it would be very handy to have this feature for road trips, but I don't know if I would do it in my everyday life. So I'm going to do a test of what it's like on my commute in the morning, at night, and all of that stuff. If there's anything you would like me to test out for FSD, let me know in the comments, and I will do it. Now, these videos are going to be spread out. The trial only lasts for a month, but I'm not going to do all FSD all the time. I'm going to put in some other content, and so it may take a while for all of these things to play out. But please subscribe if you would like to see some more of this, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. Thank you for watching.